Hey, welcome back to Standard Position Part 2. And I've got an example on the board here which says find the smallest positive coterminal angle to 5,612 degrees. So, a question like this would be important if somebody said, draw me a picture of this angle. You'd kind of want to know, well, where should I draw it on the grid? And I really need to know something that's between 0 and 360. I don't want to have to think where I want to draw it. So this is what we're talking about. We're looking for the angle that's between 0 and 360. And last time I left you with a method to do this in a pretty economical, quick way. So what we're doing is we're saying I'm going to take 5,612 and I'm going to subtract some sort of multiples, I don't know how many, of 360, and that should give me the right answer. So the real work is, how do I determine how many multiples to throw away? And here's the process that we had. We take 5,612 and we divide by 360 to see how many complete multiples of 360 that go into that number. So I did that, and I got 15 and a bit. In fact, I got 0.58 repeating. Okay, so that means I can throw away 15 complete multiples. So I'm going to take my 5,612 and subtract from it 15 multiples of 360. So I can chuck those away, and whatever's left must be coterminal, and it would be between 0 and 360, and therefore the smallest positive coterminal angle. And when all is said and done, I got 212 degrees. So that would be my answer. And if I wanted to get an approximate picture of it, I'll just do a cheap little grid here. That would mean it's a positive angle, so I'm going to rotate up like this. Okay, I just hit 90, and then I hit 180. Now I have to go a certain distance past that, but not too far. So that would be an approximate angle drawing right there. And the one angle that might be of some importance to us is this little angle here. How much beyond 180 did we go? So if I work that out, I believe we would get 32 degrees past 180, and that would be our 212 degrees. So that's an important angle, and I'm going to talk about that more later on. But I'm going to do one more example here that involves some sort of negative angle. So let's just clear the screen here. And this time we're going to try to find the smallest positive. So yet again, the smallest positive coterminal angle. So coterminal to what? Well, this time, what if we threw a negative angle at you? Okay, so that's the question. Okay, we've got negative 650 degrees. How do we deal with it when it's negative? Well, the process is very much the same. You're starting with this angle here, but the difference is this time you're adding multiples, we don't know how many, of 360. Because since it is a negative angle, what we want to do is we want to spin or rotate in a positive direction, which is kind of like taking us back to the land of positive angles. It's kind of like this. Imagine if you had your negative 650, and then you added 360 to that. Okay, so this would be a coterminal angle. So yeah, wonder what that is. Let's see, 0 and let's see, I think that'd be a 9 and a 2, and it would still be negative. Okay, so this would be coterminal, but it's still a negative angle. So then I'd have to add another one to it. Okay, and work my way up. Now I'm not even going to finish this one, but this would lead me ultimately to the right answer, but there's only one problem. What if this was something really big and there was a lot of these 360s that I had to keep adding? So that's not a very economical way to do it. So what we're doing is we're going to find a better method. And that better method is, we'll just do it on the side here, is to take that 650 and divide it by 360 and see how many of these I can throw away. Okay. Now, when I do that, I get 1.8 and then some other numbers here. I think there's a 0 and a 5 repeating. Okay, but because we were dealing with a negative angle here with this 650, we don't just want to throw away one of these. We actually want to round this up and throw away 2 of them, and that's going to guarantee we get ourselves into the positive zone. So it's actually, because you got to be thinking you don't want to stay in the negative zone. So this is where we start, and we're going to take out 2 of these. That's going to beam us into the land of the positives. Okay, so again, what you do is you do the division, and then when you look at this number, you round it up to the next whole number. So if it's 1 point something, it's going to round up. That means I got to use 2. If it was 4 point something, I'd use 5, and so on. If we do this correctly, then the answer is 70 degrees. Okay. So that's how these coterminal type questions would look. A little bit different when they're negative angles that you're starting with versus positive. But I think if you keep the big picture in mind, it'll help maintain some clarity on that. Okay, I think that's where we're going to stop with this, and then we're going to pick it up with what we call the reference angle. So we'll catch you later.